So good thing that mid-engine sports cars are very low because I don't have a lot of space here. So I'm gonna try and squeeze it in here. Wheelbase should be pretty similar to a front engine car. So I'm gonna keep it the same as the Mustang up there. And make this is gonna be weird sketching because my hand is lower than the paper itself. But we're gonna make it work. So the thing here, as I mentioned up here with the van, you can have the A-pillar start very, very close or to the front wheel. The same goes for a mid-engine sports car. So I'm gonna box this into 3 different boxes again. The only vehicle here with 2 boxes only is the van because it's such a simple shape. The rest I think we would need 3 boxes for, so I'm gonna do that again. Box number 1. Box number 2. And then we have, of course, box number 3 with the engine in it. So this looks kind of weird now, but we're gonna work on it. I'm gonna show you how to get this right. This should be the point where the A-pillar starts, this intersection right here. And that's one of the most important reference points that we're gonna have here. I'm gonna round this. Just cut it off like that, something like that. And then we kind of want to almost continue the hood up to the greenhouse, which is going to be extremely angled compared to the rest of the cars that we're sketching. Then we're going to slope it down. Something like that. And then we are going to cut it off right here, around here somewhere. There we go. Now what these boxes means in a mid-engine sports car is that we have the greenhouse almost stopping in the middle of the whole car. So we have this space here is for passengers. And this space here, the second half of it, is for the engine, which goes somewhere around here, right? So let's connect this as well first before we go into the styling. There we go. And from here we're done again with the proportions of the car. I hope you start to see how easy it can be to get the proportions right if you box it up like this and you actually think about what goes in the car and where is the engine going to be and what kind of purpose does the car have. Is it a van? Then you need to think about height and this section here, how much loading space you want to have. Obviously this is going to have a lot more loading space than any other type of vehicles. Maybe it compares to the truck here. But for the sports car here, we want to think about height. We want to keep it very low, very, very sharp angles and steep angles for the A-pillar, for example, and the C-pillar as well. And then just cut it off, something like that. We can make a door here. And we can have some air intakes like old Gallardo or something like that. Just have fun with it. Since we're done with the proportions, we can do whatever we want now. I'm not sure what that line was, but it doesn't matter. We can fill in some line weight if we want to do that. So this is a very basic way of sketching, and I think it's very important to start like this because, as I mentioned earlier, if you start sketching without knowing how to get the proportions right, you're always going to have problems with it looking weird, and sometimes you can't put a finger on what's wrong with it. but maybe it looks like a toy car, or maybe it looks, you know, just off in some way. And like 95% of the time, that all comes down to proportions, and there's something off with the proportions. So this way of using boxes is, I hope, an easier way for you to sketch and get the proportions right before jumping into details and stuff like that, the styling parts of the car.